Welcome, I'm Lizzie Brooks and this is Lizzie Brooks Yoga and Fitness. Today's class is how to become better at dealing with change. So all of us have change in our lives and a lot of times we feel very resistant. Like we've had it this way, this was working, and now it's changing. And that can cause a lot of stress and anxiety, and that's not good for our systems. So because change is inevitable, we want to make sure that we have actual actionable things that make a difference and make us feel more comfortable with the change that's happening. So there are 7 things, and again, these actually work. I've been using them myself, so I can say that for sure. The first one is to sometimes we feel really big and that everything is really big and that we are life. And we don't have the perspective, we're in our bubbles. That happens with everyone, it's totally normal. Sometimes it helps to see ourselves as small a little bit I like to watch those videos that NASA has of kind of the Earth, and then here's Jupiter and Saturn and the Sun and the solar systems, and it kind of gets broader and broader. And we see that our problem might be, or the change that's happening that seems so significant, probably isn't as significant as we think at the time. Not that it doesn't matter, it does matter, but just to gain that perspective and pull back and look at the universe a little bit. The second one is, this is tremendously helpful. Take one thing off your plate. So think of the obligations that you have. Think about the hobbies you're doing. Think about the things that you feel might be necessities. Is there something in your schedule? Is there something that you're doing that's actually stressing you out a little bit more, that if you were to take a step back, take a pause, doesn't mean you have to stop it forever, but if you don't do it for a while, that might actually free up some time for you to take better care of yourself. For me, when I was in the middle of the move, I realized that instead of uploading a new video every single week, I would do it every other week. That made more time for other things that I needed to do and for some healing. Number 3 is to picture positive outcomes. So our brain likes to kind of go through the domino effect of then this is going to happen bad and then this and this, this. Picture something positive actually coming from it. And the brain doesn't really know the difference when you're doing something or imagining something. It's actually really good for the stress hormones to calm down in your system. And also think about times in your past when you thought, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing ever. Think about those times when something positive actually did come from that change. Number 4 is a practice that I have been doing. It is proven scientifically to calm the nervous system, the vagus nerve. So finding the center point at the crown of the head, and maybe even the center point, what you feel is your heart center or your sternum, gentle touch there. You're not pressing hard, you're not tapping, you're just gently touching, closing the eyes, and slowing your breathing down. It doesn't have to slow down a lot. I don't want you to get anxious here, but slowing it down, closing off the sense of sight if you can, if you have a moment, and maybe even do it for 1 minute. You definitely have 1 minute for you. That links you up heart and mind, and it just kind of gives you that, like when you take an Etch-a-Sketch and you shake it and it starts over and all those lines that were written on it are now kind of smoothed out. That's similarly what it's doing for your system. Number 5 is give yourself worry time. So I know this seems counterintuitive, but you're thinking, well, worrying isn't good for me, so why would I do that? Allot time just to worry. You're gonna worry anyway. So if you can say scheduling like worry time, I'm going to worry for this 5 minutes. I'm gonna worry, I'm gonna play out all the terrible scenarios, I'm gonna worry. Then your brain knows it got to do it. And now it can move on. So basically you're trying to put that worry in that small amount of time rather than letting it follow you all throughout the day. And then once you're done with the worry task, you can move on to other things. Number 6 is please try not to make any other huge decisions during a big time of shift. So whatever things that you don't have to decide about, don't make those decisions right then, because you're probably in a higher state of stress and that will only add to it. So steer clear of anything, any huge projects, any huge changes that take a lot of energy, time, and thought, so that you can, again, give yourself more time to heal and deal with the change you're in. And then last but definitely not least is move, breathe, and rest. I know we hear it all the time and we think to ourselves, oh, it'd be really good if I did this movement practice, but oh gosh, I don't have an hour. You don't need an hour. Move for 5 minutes. I have videos on my channel that are 5 minutes, 15 minutes. It doesn't even have to be structured. You can get on your yoga mat and just move organically. It doesn't have to look like this perfect practice. Rest. Prioritize your sleep. It's easier said than done, of course, but you will heal. That is when we heal. And with the stress of these changes, we need to repair, and that's during rest. And the breath. The breath is, even after people get heart surgery, so you have open heart surgery, what they are taught after that is to breathe more fully and more smoothly, and to focus on that. Why? Because the lungs and the heart are connected through the pericardium. It's like a sling-like structure. And as you breathe, you tone and massage the heart. We're all connected. Breathing is important for healing. So if doctors at the Mayo Clinic are teaching this to patients after surgery, right? It's not just some woo-woo thing that yoga teachers say. It is scientifically proven, way more science than just the heart surgery stuff, that it gets you down to a calmer level so that you can deal with the changes and all of the shifts in your life. I hope that you found this helpful. If you have any ways that you find yourself being better at dealing with change, put them in the comments. I'm always open to learning and then sharing what I've learned with others. So thank you so much for showing up. Have a beautiful day. If you got any value, hit like, please do subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.